I came across the following. Let me read it to you. It's called the Five Cardinal Rules for Life. Rule number one, make peace with your past so it won't disturb your present. Two, what other people think of you is none of your business. Three, time heals almost everything. Give it time. Four, no one is in charge of your happiness except you. Five, don't compare your life to others and don't judge them. You have no idea what their journey is all about. I love this. For me, there's a couple of threads that go through those five cardinal rules. I would say self-love is in there. Love believing in yourself, not being overly concerned with things that are out of your control, not being overly concerned with what people say about you. I think also a very important point that I pick out in the first one is about forgiveness. So what I find is a lot of times we don't forgive ourselves for the mistakes we made in the past. You know, we carry these with us as a label that because when 20 years ago I reacted to XYZ situation in the following way, that's me today. I think it's important to remember that life is dynamic. We go through different phases of life. We are born, we are infants, we become teenagers. Those teenage years have their own challenges. We get into our 20s when we are now getting out into the world, be it through colleges, universities, or work. That brings its own challenges. The types of relationships we have is different. Some of us become parents at that stage. Some of us get married, have lifelong relationships that start. You go into your 30s, and so on and so forth. So I think it's unfortunate when we are so unforgiving to ourselves. So I urge you to always remember that what you did yesterday isn't necessarily going to be what you would do tomorrow or next week. Give yourself permission to make mistakes. Forgive yourself. At the end of the day, the mistakes we make help us to be a better person on the other side of those mistakes. I saw an interview with the great, in some people's opinion, the greatest basketball player of all time, Michael Jordan, and he was asked the question, do you have any regrets in life? And he gave a really interesting answer, in my opinion. Michael Jordan's answer was, no, I don't regret anything in life. I never have regrets because the great things that I've done in my life came as a result of the lessons I learned from the mistakes I made. So if I didn't make those mistakes, perhaps I wouldn't have had the triumphs. So I think that's a great example to all of us, that when we make mistakes, don't dwell on it for too long. That is not necessarily who you are. Take the lessons, improve upon yourself, and make sure that the next time you're on the same stage, you give an improved performance based on what you've learned from the mistakes you made. So yeah, 5 cardinal rules for life. I will post them, share them. I think there's some great lessons in there. I've just focused on a couple of them. You guys may see others. As always, I welcome your feedback. I think just to summarize, let's love ourselves, guys. And as part of loving ourselves, let's forgive ourselves for past mistakes. Let's learn from those past mistakes. Let's not be overly concerned with what people think or say about us. Let's not judge people too harshly because we really don't know what's going on in their lives. By the same token, let's not judge ourselves so harshly. I think sometimes that's the biggest mistake we all make. We are so bloody hard on ourselves. Have a good day, guys.